What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. When it comes to solo queue, there's so many champions that are either just permabanned or are very likely to get nerfed in the case of the juggernauts. My goal with this kind of series is to shine light on some champions that are definitely not going to get nerfed and more importantly are definitely not going to be banned in your games. Today it's Ahri mid. And this is another series I'll be incorporating my stream into as well as my webcam, and I'm starting to stream a lot recently, so definitely check it out. And this video was actually recorded before the Kindred video, so my stream overlay isn't set up properly in this sense, so the webcam is going to cover a little bit of a different portion of the video for this video only. Anyways, let's get started. The main advantage that Ahri really brings to the table that sticks out is that she's a very dynamic and versatile mid lane champion. You can build any AP items on her and play any style that you might want from a mid laner in your team composition. You can play like an assassin by jumping in and bursting people down, you can play as a poke mage by using her high ranges and kiting people, and you can even play like a control mage by using her utility to kite around zones and forcing charms to land. There's just so many options that Ahri's kit brings to the table with her utility since her build path is so dynamic. This is really valuable since it means that you can really play to your teammates' playstyle and the way they are playing out in fights in order to best help carry them. You can really do anything the team might need you to do, and in solo queue that goes a really long way since every team you queue up into is going to play differently, they're going to fight differently, they're going to group differently, and Ahri's kit is going to really let you fill out any situation and work with any team, whereas most mid laners have at least one major weakness in terms of playstyle, and they won't be able to bring those dynamic options. She also works really well when building defensively, which helps you come back a lot when you're behind. In one of the games I'm showing you right now, I actually started this game out at around 0 and 2. I died early to a jungler gank, and I had a misplay in like a small skirmish that cost me and set me behind. However, because Ahri has such an easy time building defensively, I was able to change my build path, move from a more typical Luden's build to snowball my lane to something more defensive, to completely stop my opponent from snowballing on me, and my defensive build made it impossible for them to kill me unless I made a completely huge positional mistake. And so because of this build, I actually ended up finishing the game 13 and 3 after starting 0 and 2. I only died once after changing my build to the defensive path. So the point is that even if you fall behind a little bit in Ahri, you can change your build path and really have no problem at all catching up in the game. Her crowd control and her true damage ensure that you're going to be useful no matter how behind you are, so even if you lose lane, you can still have a really big impact for carrying the game, which is really powerful since sometimes, it's solo queue. You're going to mess up, maybe you're going to die to a gank, and that's just going to happen sometimes, and you have to be able to handle that when you fall behind. And so some champions are completely useless when behind, but Ahri is someone who can still be a complete monster and have a very big impact, giving you loads of opportunities to come back into the game. She also has a lot of outplay potential. With her ultimate and her crowd control, and to some extent her movement speed as well, she has the tools to outplay really anyone in the entire game, meaning that even if you get counterpicked or you have trouble facing some champions, it's not going to be a problem for you at all once you get used to playing Ahri, since you're always going to be able to come out on top if you are the better player compared to your opponents. Some champions are going to get totally wrecked if they get counterpicked, but if you know the matchup and you learn the details of how things play out, you can win any matchup with Ahri. So it means that you can blind pick her in champion select, and that means a lot more than you might actually think. Right now, Ahri sits at around a 53 to 54% win rate, which is actually really high for a mid laner. And this is mainly because Ahri as a champion is, okay, maybe she's not necessarily easy to play because of her skill shots, but she has an extremely forgiving kit since the mobility her ultimate brings makes her a very safe champion. Her cooldowns are also quite low, so even if you do happen to miss all of your skill shots, you can try again in just like 5 or 6 seconds. And she's definitely not too difficult, at least compared to a lot of the other mid lane champions. She has great roams, allowing you to snowball the entire map if you're ahead, or perhaps find advantages in other areas when you're behind. And she's also useful throughout all phases of the game and can even be really strong in a level 1 fight if you level up your charm first. So overall, Ahri is a super strong option right now, and I definitely recommend trying her out, and once you spend a few games mastering her skill shots, you can start making some mad plays with them. And that's going to be it, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you live on Twitch TV.